Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because it's about to get on fire. On today's video, I'm going to share with you my favorite scriptures of all time. I am so thankful that you decided to join me today. Thank you so much. You are watching Moments with God. And if you like these videos, consider subscribing as well as clicking the bell icon to get notifications of all my videos. First scripture I love is the book of Exodus. Now, Exodus was written by Moses and it represents the exit of Israel out of Egypt and out of slavery. And this book is so amazing. I am just gripped from the time I get to read it, from the beginning of the book all the way up until the end of the book. It is just so great. So how did the children of God get into slavery to begin with? The children of Israel had a brother who was the deputy of Egypt. Now he's living his life over there in great luxury, but all the way in Canaan, they are hungry and they're in a famine. So they realized that it was better for them to go to Egypt to join their brother who will give them food and who will take care of them because he's a child of God and he forgave all their transgressions against them. So he would welcome them in and they would live happily ever after. And that's exactly what happened. So they lived and thrived in Egypt and they multiplied. They filled the entire Egyptian country, and they grew bigger, they grew stronger, they grew greater in number. Many years later, Joseph and his brothers die, and his children get to thrive in Egypt, and they are stronger, and they are good, and they're good looking, and they're performing well. And this sends shivers of fear down the Pharaoh's spine. Okay, and he's like, look at these Israelites, they're bigger than us, they're stronger than us, they're more than us. We have got to do something before they turn on us and make us slaves. Let us make them slaves. Okay, so now for 400 years the Israelites are slaves in Egypt. And this is something that God told Abraham, that your children will be slaves for a time, but then they're going to come back and live in safety and enjoy in the promised land, Canaan. So Pharaoh puts them in slavery. He puts hard labor upon them and gives them very little food. And he decides that he's going to cut the number of the Israelites, so he's going to kill all the firstborn male and enslave the women. And he's been doing this for some time. So when a young and wonderful Levite woman from the Israelite camp got pregnant, she loved the child so much when he was born that she decided to hide him. And I am just in awe of this, because look at what the God of heaven does. She hides him, and she does this by putting him inside of a basket and letting the basket just flow with the river as it goes, and then decides that she's going to let the sister take care of the basket. And it's just awful. I'm just thinking to myself, what's going to happen to the child? Is the child going to be okay? Will they make it through? If this child or this basket, or if the tide changes and the basket falls over, what's going to happen? Is the sister going to get him in time? I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. But luckily, as you read on, you find that the Pharaoh's daughter finds the basket. Now, it can go two ways. It's either she's going to rescue the baby, or she's going to kill the baby after realizing that this baby is an Israelite. Remember, Pharaoh is still enslaving the Israelites, and this is a tough time for Israel. But nonetheless, she finds the baby, And God is so merciful. He turns the heart of this woman to love the baby. And as she's holding the baby, she decides to name him Moses, which means out of the water, and raises him as her own. So Moses lives in opulence. He lives a life of luxury in the castle. And he is just saved from all the slavery that the Israelites are going through. But nonetheless, he is still an Israelite. So he sees the torture. And Moses doesn't like that his people are enslaved. So, of course, he's going to listen to the bush. Of course, he's going to listen to this voice that is so warm and so inviting. And not only that, he knows about the oppression of his people. And he's calling himself God. And he knows the struggle that they went through. He knows Abraham. He's calling himself the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. He understands, and he this amazing, miraculous, unbelievable image of a bush that is just in flames and it's not burning. And I can imagine just the presence of God all around him. He felt safe to listen to God. And of course, God tells him that he knows that his people are in slavery and he's going to make a plan, and he is the plan. Can you just believe the drama in this story? Now, Moses is just kind of scared, but he's going to Egypt to rescue his people. And God has his wife with him. He has Aaron with him. And to cut the long story short, he goes, man. Though he's scared, he goes. And I'm scared with him. But nonetheless, he goes. So he gets to Pharaoh and he's like, Pharaoh, let my people go. Let my people go so we can get out of here and go and serve our God. And of course, Pharaoh is like, are you crazy? I am not letting your people go. Okay, under what authority should I let your people go? I'm the Pharaoh and you're my slave. In fact, you're a runaway. So what authority do you have that I should listen to you and your God? Be gone. Get away from me. Get out of here. You're crazy. But Moses knows God, okay? And Moses knows what God can do, but Moses has got no idea the full extent of what God can do. He's thinking of a burning bush. God is thinking of the Red Sea parting, okay? So what God does is send a couple of plagues, 10 of them, to shake the Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh is shaken to his boots when his firstborn son dies. Okay, this is just a long story in a nutshell. So he's like, you people are crazy. You and your gods and your plagues, get out of my town, go. So the people of Israel are so blessed and are so happy that they have been freed from slavery, and the Egyptians give them the gold and they're like, get out of our town. You people are crazy. You and your God gonna kill our children. You're gonna send us frogs and all kinds of gnats and hail and this is just too much. Get out. So Moses leaves, and it's awesome how God works. And I just want you to read this for yourself, because obviously I'm just giving you a summary of what happened. So now Moses is in the wilderness. So one of the counselors of the Pharaoh decides to, talk to him a bit. And he's like, are you sure you want to let the children of Israel go? Those big and strong and tough slaves, you want to let your slaves go? We're going to go hungry. Are you crazy? You're going to let them decide who you are? You are the Pharaoh. So he starts hyping him up. And the Pharaoh comes after the Israelites. Now, this is where it gets crazy. The faith of some people are being tested, and they decide to go after, Moses and be like, hey, Moses, you took us out of Egypt. We were slaves, but we were fine. We would eat. Now we're hungry. We are going to die because the Pharaoh is against us and he's coming for us. And can I just remind you that I had a home and I had food to eat at the end of the day, and my children were safe. And now his chariots, that guy called the Pharaoh, his chariots are coming after us. And we're going to die. And Moses is like, you people, I don't even understand you. I'm the one who's always praying to God, and you guys don't even pray. Why don't you call God? Why don't you tell God so that God can come and he will answer you? But of course, they're in panic. They're before the Red Sea. They don't know where to go. They cannot go back because the Pharaoh is right at their heel. And then Moses decides to pray. And Lord, behold, God gives him the most awesome instruction. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I am sorry about the lighting. I am using the sun to light up the space, but thank you so much for your patience. We are still in the Genesis series. I'm still continuing with that. We've done chapter 1 and chapter 2. I just thought that I would give you this video for fun, to take a break from reading the book, and also to get everybody a chance to catch up with us. I know that you are very busy, so if you are new, please consider subscribing, and of course click the bell icon to get notifications of all my videos.